Hi, I'm Pamela Bruner from MakeYourSuccessEasy.com, and this is the second in the series of videos to help you remove the three biggest barriers to having your transformational business be what you want it to be. Those barriers are marketing problems, money problems, and sales problems. Last time we talked about the marketing. Today, I brought my handy-dandy flip chart so we could talk about money. Money beliefs, not being in alignment and congruent with money and where you want to go, stops more transformational entrepreneurs, even I'll say, than marketing and sales. So this is a really important point for you to get today. I want to talk first about your money set point. Now, if you've been in the health industry at all, you've probably heard about weight set points, or maybe in psychology about happiness set points. This idea that we have an area that we tend to gravitate towards. The thing is that money set points can be changed. I want you to think about, for example, when you were in high school or college. At that time, $10 or $20 was probably a lot of money for you. Think back even further when you were 10 and you got an allowance of a couple of dollars. You probably felt like you were rich as a king. The thing is, as we age and our income goes up a little, our money set point changes. Here's the thing. If where you are now is not where you want to be, you actually have to change your money set point in order to move your income up the scale. So I just did this as a little example. For example, suppose these are hotel rooms. Now, there are certainly hotel rooms out there for $45 a night. And there are hotel rooms out there for about $90 a night. And $210 and $399 and, up to $10,000, $25,000 for a hotel room for a night. It just depends on where you're staying. If you believe that you can't increase the amount of money that you're charging your clients, I'll invite you to consider, would you stay in a $45 a night hotel? Now, maybe you would. But a lot of people, me included, I would not. This would be below my comfort level, my money set point for what to spend in a hotel. This would be okay. I'm not uncomfortable at either one of these levels. Now, maybe this level or even this level is uncomfortable for you. I know a time when spending $200 on a hotel room would have completely thrown me off. I wouldn't have been able to be comfortable because I would have felt like every second, everything I touched, everything I did in that hotel room was too much money. That was my money set point at the time, and I've shifted it. And I'm sure you've shifted your money set points over time. So here's the thing. If in your transformational business, you're charging the equivalent of $45 a night, like for the hotel, there are people who are not doing business with you because you're literally below what their money set point says. So when you raise your rates, are you going to lose clients? Yeah, you're going to lose the people for whom $45 seems okay, seems like the right thing to do. But you'll get clients for whom $90, $210, or $399 feel like that's in alignment with my set point. Now, here's the other thing about that. People who are willing to pay this much generally treat you better, and they're much better clients. And here's the final thing. Since I know that I'm talking to transformational entrepreneurs, people who transform lives with what they do, whether you're a coach or a healer or a consultant or an artist or an author or a speaker, when you charge more money, people tend to value what you do more. This is just because in our set points, in what we're comfortable with, we value things based on price. It's just what's so in society today. So if you charge too low for your services, there's no objective criteria that people can look at and say, the transformation I got when I went to Mary is rated at a 5 by Consumer Reports. They can't say that. The transformation that they get is going to come from inside of them, and it's going to come from their evaluation of what they spend on what you've offered. So where do you want to set your money set point for the people who are going to come to you for services? Do you want to be a $45 person? Do you want to be a $90, a $210, a $399? Do you want to be a $5,000 person? The thing is, in order to be congruent, you have to start pushing up your money set point for what you're willing to spend and what you see as reasonable in the world. So here's your assignment for the next week. As you go through your daily routine, Whether you go to the grocery store, whether you go to a hardware or department store, if you go to an airport where you're flying, notice the prices there. Notice the price of different things as you browse the web, as you look for experiences or products that you want to purchase. And just evaluate in your head, what feels expensive to you? What seems reasonable? Is $4 too much to pay for a cup of coffee? Or is it reasonable? Is $40 too much to pay for a bottle of wine? Is $10 too little to pay? The thing is, it's all subjective. But when you start noticing where your money set point is, you're going to notice that we tend to market to the people who are in about the same money set point that we are. So you're setting your prices for people at your income level. If you set your prices up, you're going to attract people at a different income level, and then you're going to rise to meet that new income level. And if you want to look at 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, or even 7 figures, you're going to have to get used to a whole new money set point. All right, so I'm going to do a quick tapping routine with you on this before I send you off to do that homework of really observing over the next few days your reaction to price and what that tells you about your money set point. So I want you to pick a particular program or product that you offer, and then look at what you're charging for it. Then increase that. You can double it, you can triple it, you can increase it by just 50% if you want to play small, but I'd play big if I were you. And look at that new price and evaluate how you feel about that. You probably feel nervous and uncomfortable thinking about charging that much, whether it's for a session of work that you do or a product that you offer. And just notice that discomfort. Now, tap along with me. If you missed the first video, you'll want to go back and watch that if you're not familiar with tapping, so you can get the whole scoop on tapping and how to do it, and then come back and finish. Tap the top of the head and repeat after me. I couldn't possibly charge that much. I don't know if it's worth that much. And what are other people going to think of me if I charge that much? I'm really uncomfortable charging that much. There's no way, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to have to make more money another way. I can't possibly raise my rates. It may be well and good for some people, but there's no way it's going to work for me. I can't imagine charging that much. I'd like it if I could. Some people just pay too much for things. Some people are willing to throw their money away. And I know they're throwing their money away because it's more than I would pay for those things. That's the world according to my belief system. Okay, so different people have different belief systems. Different people have different money set points. What if I could price for people at a different set point? What if I raised my rates and I attracted people with a whole new set point? If there are people out there who will pay $400 for a hotel room or pay $2,000 for a hotel room, maybe there are people who would pay me when I raise my rates. Take a deep breath. Now consider that figure that you had again when you increased your rates. And look, does it look quite so impossible? Or does it look like you might be able to charge that much and get it? Now, we haven't dealt with the authenticity or integrity issue of whether you feel you're worth it. That's another question for another time. But the truth is that when you charge more for transformation, your clients get more out of the work that you do. I'll leave that lesson and that explanation for another video. The next video is about sales, and this is really the key to combining the money and the marketing together so that you can make more money right away. I'm Pamela Bruner from Make Your Success Easy. I'll see you in the next video.